life. And today I want to talk about whether you're a good passenger or whether you're better as somebody in the driving seat. So this week, my husband and I went up to pick our daughter from university for the Christmas holidays, and the weather was just dreadful, and the motorway was really busy. And my husband is a really confident driver. He goes on the outside lane, he overtakes lorries in sleet, etc., etc. And I, however, am not a good passenger. If I'm not driving, I often feel car sick for starters, and I don't like going too fast. I don't like going too near, and I'm hyper alert for any dangers, which means that I'm very, vocal with the shrieks and the imaginary slamming on of the brakes. You know, anybody recognize themselves? And anyway, so when we got back from the round trip, I was feeling just a bit sick and frazzled. And my husband said to me sympathetically, "You're just not a very good passenger." And I have to say, I agreed. And then, boom, it suddenly became a metaphor that translated to other aspects of my life. I started pondering, am I a good passenger elsewhere, or am I happier being in the driving seat? And what about, those backseat drivers always telling others what to do? Am I ever like that? So it made me reflect that in my career, most of the times I have really thrived being in the driving seat. I like having my own company. I like having my own agenda. I like managing my own diary as I see fit. I have been a passenger many times, navigating and making decisions on behalf of everyone in the car, or making sure everybody's happy, metaphorically speaking, in the car at work. But it definitely takes more energy from me than if I were in the driving seat, audiobook on, free to stop wherever I want. So, what does this all mean? Well, I think it shows up certain values like independence, freedom, autonomy, which definitely show up outside the literal car in my life. So, what does that have to do with you? Well, I think it's an interesting thing for you to ponder, and think about how you operate. Are you happiest in the driving seat? Are you a good or bad passenger? Does it change and depend on the situation or the weather? Are there any constants that thread through your life outside of work? Are you forever looking in the rearview mirror, for example? There are just so many car and driving related questions you can apply to your own life. So, how can you use this metaphor to ponder your own values? And what is the insight that you glean? Please do share what you find. I would love to know. All right, that's it for this week, and I will see you next week.